Hi, the Community of Faith Church continues to celebrate Black History Month at the same time that we're acknowledging National Women's History Month. And for that, we're interviewing women of impact, women who are changing generations by the service they render. And I'm so delighted to introduce you to, or present to you, a woman who should not need an introduction. She is the amazing a federal judge, Vanessa Gilmore. How you doing?
Good morning. I am wonderful, Bishop. Thank you for having me today.
Oh my, no, thank you for having me. I'm so delighted to be in your courtroom, and I'm not in any trouble whatsoever today.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing, because I meet you in a different context. But honestly, let me say to you, first of all, thank you and congratulations for your tenure here in this courtroom and what you brought to our city, our county, our state, and our nation. And I'm honored to be here with you.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's hard to believe that it's been 27 years that I've been here in this courtroom and in this courthouse as a United States judge, but here we are.
Don't know how you made history coming here at 5 years old, because your energy today, it still resembles your energy when you started 27 years ago. I remember that.
Absolutely, because I think we've known each other for more than 30 years. Yes. You knew me before I was even in this place.
Yes, and that even makes it more special for me. How did you end up here in the courtroom as a federal judge?
You know, Bishop, I tell people all the time, because people ask me often, how do you get to become a federal judge? Well, first of all, you have to be at the top of your game in terms of your profession. Mm-hmm. And I was a trial lawyer. In fact, I tried my very last case as a trial lawyer in this courtroom. It was a patent infringement case.
No way.
But the thing that gets you noticed by people, that gives you an opportunity to be considered for positions like this, is more than just the work that you do from a professional standpoint. Mm-hmm. I tell people constantly that it was my work in the community that brought me to the attention of the people that were considering appointments like this, and that was as important, if not more important, than the work that I was doing as a trial lawyer. I had to be a good trial lawyer. I had to be a very good trial lawyer. Yes. But I also had to show a penchant for public service, because being a judge is a position of public service. Mickey Leland took it upon himself to gather a group of young Black professionals that he had identified and picked out from across the state of Texas. And he gathered us all and took us down to Galveston, Texas for the weekend. Wow. I got a phone call, would you like to come down for an all expense paid weekend in Galveston? And I said, there's got to be a catch. And there was a catch. And the catch was that he wanted us to all meet and know each other. And he wanted us to be responsible for looking out for each other and taking care of each other and identifying each other to people of influence as people that should be considered for opportunities in government, in public service, in corporate America. And he brought us together, and we formed a little organization called the Texas Black Leadership Congress. Mm-hmm. So when President Clinton became president in 1992, he took our then U.S. Senator, which was Lloyd Bentsen, and made him Secretary of the Treasury. That's right. And so then Governor Richards got to appoint his replacement. She appointed Bob Kruger to be the new U.S. Senator. So when Bob Kruger became the senator, there were 10 vacancies on the federal bench at that time. So I went to him and I said, can I be on your committee to help you choose the federal judges? And he said, yeah, you can do that. So I go to be on the committee to help choose the federal judges, and I get there, and as soon as I get there, they say, we don't want you. We're not interested in having you on this committee. I'm a girl. I start crying. I was like, why me? Did I do something to somebody? And they said, no, we're going to put your name up to be a federal judge. Wow. And I was like, I don't think this is my deal. I don't want to be a federal judge. It wasn't something that I saw as my path. But do you know who I called for advice about it? I called Reverend Lawson.
I knew that was coming.
Called Reverend Lawson because I wanted to know, what am I doing? So I was crying. And he said, what are you crying about? I said, oh, Reverend Lawson, something terrible has happened. He said, what? I said, they want me to be a federal judge. He said, ask yourself 2 questions. Can you do a good job? Will it be good for the community? I get all the way through the FBI process, and they call me and say, we have your report and there's a problem. And I'm thinking to myself, what could it be? I've paid all my taxes. I haven't really beat up any of my boyfriends. And so what could it be? They said, you have a ticket from the University of Houston for an expired parking meter from 1979 or 80 when I was a student there. I mean, that's so long ago.
Yes, yes.
And everybody knows. Tell them, Bishop, when you go on these college campuses, there's no place to park. See, I like to tell kids all of the time, you know, this is man's law. Man's law is way down here. God's law and your mama's law is way up here. It's not, the man's law is just the bare minimum that you have to do right. What Barbara Jordan was trying to make me understand was the bare minimum is not enough. This is the bar that you need to set for yourself. And I thought that that was such a profound lesson. One that my parents had also taught me. But one that she emphasized for me just as I was about to go through a very important step of you know, appearing before the Senate for that hearing.